The morning sun poured golden light over the thick canopy of the Sundarbans, painting the mangroves with an otherworldly glow. Mist still clung to the edges of the marshes, and the cries of distant birds filled the air with wild music. Life stirred cautiously, as it always did in the tangled labyrinth of roots and rivers, where predators lurked unseen and danger was part of the rhythm of existence. In a small clearing near the edge of a village, chaos erupted. A cow, one of the pride of the farmer Dinesh's modest herd, had strayed too far while grazing. Its low, panicked bellows carried across the swampy ground, sharp and unnatural. Something was wrong. When the villagers ran toward the sound, what they saw froze them in terror. Coiled around the struggling cow was a monstrous python, so large its body looked like a tree trunk. The snake's scales shimmered dark green and bronze in the sun, and its powerful muscles squeezed tighter with each frantic kick of the animal. The cow's eyes rolled wildly as it bellowed for life, foam at its mouth, legs thrashing but weakening. The villagers stood at a distance, clutching sticks and axes, but none dared approach. They had seen pythons before, but never one of this size, easily over 20 feet long, its head wide as a man's chest, eyes glinting with cold predatory focus. "This is no ordinary snake," one elder whispered, beads of sweat on his forehead despite the cool morning. "It must have come from deep inside the forest, where such creatures grow beyond normal size." Dinesh fell to his knees, hands clutching his head. The cow was his family's livelihood, their only source of milk and trade. Losing it meant hardship, yet to challenge the serpent seemed like suicide. As panic spread, someone cried out, "Call the rescue team." The courageous rescue team, as they had come to be known, was a group of 5 men and women from the nearby town who dedicated themselves to protecting both wildlife and villagers. They had faced crocodiles trapped in fishing nets, leopards cornered in huts, even elephants rampaging through fields. Their reputation had grown across districts. Brave, skilled, and determined, they risked themselves so humans and animals could coexist. Word reached them quickly, and within an hour they arrived, their jeep kicking up dust as it rolled into the clearing. The villagers swarmed around, pointing toward the forest where the python still crushed its prey. Leading the team was Arjun, a broad-shouldered man in his 30s, his calm eyes radiating focus even in chaos. With him were Priya, the team's strategist and medic, Kabir, wiry and fearless, known for his speed and daring, Mira, sharp-eyed and steady-handed with ropes and tools, and Rafiq, the strongest among them, with an unshakable resolve. They assessed the scene quickly. The python's coils had immobilized the cow, but its head was raised, tongue flickering, aware of the crowd. The snake wasn't in a hurry, it knew the prey couldn't escape. The cow still had some strength, but its cries were weakening. Arjun spoke firmly. "We must act fast. The longer the python holds, the more likely the cow will suffocate. But we cannot harm the snake, it is part of this forest's balance." Priya nodded. "We'll need a coordinated distraction. If its head is occupied, we can begin prying its coils." Kabir cracked his knuckles. "I'll take the head. Keep it on me." The villagers murmured in awe at the team's composure. None of them would dare go near the beast, yet these 5 walked forward with ropes, poles, and sheer determination. As they approached, the python hissed, sensing the intrusion. Its head swung toward them, eyes narrowing, tongue tasting their scent. The cow bellowed weakly, legs jerking, but the coils tightened. Further, Kabir darted to the side, waving a long bamboo pole, smacking it against the ground to draw the python's gaze. The snake's head tracked him, its body tightening around the cow. It struck suddenly, lightning fast, but Kabir leapt back just in time, the jaws snapping shut inches from his arm. The villagers gasped, some covering their eyes. "Now!" Arjun shouted. Rafiq and Mira rushed to the cow's side, their hands pushing against the serpent's coils. It was like trying to move a boulder, the muscles were unyielding, every inch of the python designed to suffocate and crush. They grunted with effort, sweat pouring down their faces. Priya guided them, directing where to push and wedge the pole for leverage. Slowly, painfully, they managed to loosen one section of the coil around the cow's ribcage. The animal sucked in a desperate breath, chest heaving, but another coil tightened around its hind legs. The python lunged at Kabir again, jaws wide. He rolled to the ground, barely avoiding the strike, mud streaking his face. His heart pounded but he grinned through the fear. "Is that all you've got, monster?" he taunted, smacking the pole again. Arjun joined the struggle at the cow's side, his muscles straining as he pushed against the serpent's immense body. He shouted through clenched teeth, "Pull the rope under its coil, now." Mira slipped the rope beneath one loop of the python and tossed the end to Rafik. Together they yanked, forcing the snake's grip to loosen slightly. The cow thrashed weakly, its eyes bulging with panic, but every bit of space mattered. The villagers had gathered in a wide circle, holding their breath, some whispering prayers, others gripping each other's hands. Never had they seen humans stand so boldly against the raw power of nature. The battle raged for what felt like an eternity, every second a balance between courage and catastrophe. Kabir narrowly avoided another strike, distracting the snake long enough for Arjun and the others to free more of the cow's torso. But the serpent shifted suddenly, its tail whipping out, knocking Mira off balance. She stumbled, nearly falling into the coils. Arjun lunged, grabbing her arm and pulling her back. "Stay focused," he barked, though his voice carried more concern than anger. Rafik roared with effort as he hauled at the rope, veins bulging in his arms. The python hissed furiously, its body thrashing, but the team did not relent. Finally, with a combined push, they managed to loosen the final constricting loop around the cow's neck. The animal sucked in air, collapsing to the ground, chest heaving violently. Its eyes flickered with life again, though exhaustion weighed heavy. But the battle wasn't over. Freed of its prey, the python coiled defensively, its head rising high, towering above the rescuers. Its mouth opened, revealing curved fangs, as it swayed menacingly. Kabir, panting and mud-streaked, still faced it head-on. "We've got the cow free. Now we make sure no one else gets caught." Arjun raised a hand. "No killing. We drive it back into the forest where it belongs." Together, they advanced cautiously, poles outstretched, forming a line. The snake struck again, faster than most eyes could follow, but they were ready. A sharp jab from Mira deflected its head, while Rafik shoved another coil aside. Step by step, they herded it back toward the deeper forest. The python hissed one last time, then slithered into the undergrowth, its immense body vanishing like a shadow among the trees. Silence fell. Then a roar of cheers erupted from the villagers. They rushed forward, surrounding the team with gratitude, clapping their backs, praising their bravery. Dinesh wept openly, kneeling beside his cow, stroking its head as it recovered. "You saved more than just an animal," he said, voice breaking. "You saved my family's hope." Arjun and his team stood quietly, sweat-drenched and exhausted, but satisfied. They had once again walked the thin line between man and nature, proving that coexistence was possible if met with courage and respect. Priya checked the cow's breathing and nodded. "It will live. It just needs rest." As the team packed their ropes and poles, the villagers begged them to stay for a meal, to be honored. But Arjun shook his head gently. "Our work is never finished. Somewhere else, another creature or family may need us." They climbed back into their jeep, leaving behind a village forever changed by the sight of humans who dared to face a giant python not with hatred, but with bravery and compassion. The sun dipped lower, painting the forest in orange hues as they drove away. None of them spoke for a while, the weight of the struggle still heavy in their bodies. But inside, each felt the quiet pride of having stood against fear and protected life, both human and animal. That night, the villagers told the story again and again around their fires, the tale of the courageous rescue team who fought a giant python to save an innocent cow. It became legend, woven into the fabric of their lives, a reminder that courage is not the absence of fear, but the will to act in spite of it. And deep in the forest, the python lay coiled beneath ancient roots, its body sore but its hunger undiminished. Life in the Sundarbans went on, predator and prey, man and beast, locked forever in a dance of survival. But for one cow and one grateful family, the dance had, for once, been interrupted by human courage. And so, the legend spread, carried across villages and towns, until the courageous rescue team became not just protectors, but symbols of hope, guardians of the fragile bond between mankind and the wild.